Hello, love. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow, and you will always remember this as the day you almost didn't get to solve inequalities. They say that inequalities can only be solved by those that know what points to check between. So I'll write down the steps for you and help you determine which points you need to check. Now, to solve this problem, you want to have your equipment handy. So all you need is a bad Johnny Depp impression and a sword, love. Or I suppose a calculator would help as well, whichever you prefer. So the first thing we need to do is determine where this is undefined. Or you might say, find the undefines. Find the undefines, love. Well, to look at this problem, it appears to be undefined when x equals 1. And that point will be very important as we proceed. The next thing we need to do is pretend that the right-hand side and the left-hand side are equal. So I have x plus 9 times x minus 7 over x minus 1 equals 0. I have these things on my head. I don't know what they are, but they're there. Oh, there goes my hat. I need my hat. Be very careful with this hat. Can't have this without my hat. Okay, so I need to determine where these are equal. I will cross multiply and multiply this by 1. And then multiply this denominator by the 0 and still have 0, love. And that means that x must be negative 9 or positive 7. Now that we know where things are undefined and where things are equal to each other, step 3 is to plot the points on our number line and pick some test points between them. So let's do that, love. X equals 1 is right here, and x equals 7 is right there, and x equals negative 9 is over here, love. Now, at negative 9 and 7, these things are equal to each other. These two sides are equal. So we should fill in the dot there because those will definitely be a part of this solution. But at 1, things are undefined. So I will leave a big empty hole there, kind of like the hole at the edge of the world that I traveled to when I fought Davy Jones and got ate by the big thing. Anyhow. Now we're going to test some points. So I'll test a point here, and here, and here, and here. Perhaps you'd like to test negative 10 over here, love. Let's do that. So if I plug in a negative 10 and put a negative 10 down there, well, without actually solving it, negative 10 plus 9 is negative. Negative 10 minus 7 is negative, and negative 10 minus 1 is negative. Negative times negative divided by negative. I think, love, my final answer will be negative, and I needed that to be greater than or equal to 0. Well, obviously it's not. Whatever it is, it's not greater than 0 or equal to 0, so this is false. If you continue, you will find that this is true, and this one's false, and this part is true. So, to finish this problem, we need to include all of these points up until 1 when we leave the hole, and then from 7 onward where we draw an arrow. And all we need to do now is write this in interval notation. So to put this in interval notation, we're going to start with the bracket at negative 9 and go till we get to positive 1 rather, and we will put parentheses because it's undefined at 1. And then we'll write the word or, and we will have to include from 7 to infinity. And we'll put brackets around the 7, but we never want to put brackets around infinity because that's very rude, and even pirates would have better manners than that. So now you know how to solve inequalities and graph them and put them in interval notation. You had to determine where it was undefined, if it is undefined anywhere. You have to pretend that the two sides are equal. And the last thing you have to do is pick some test points and make a graph and some lovely interval notation. And that's all you need to do to be a pirate.